Hi Taurus, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. So this is your second bonus reading, and this is called the How He or She Feels About Me. It's a really good reading, I love it. It's another big spread. I have a look at how you feel about this. This reading is basically geared towards if there's somebody around you that you like. So if there's someone around you that you like, Taurus, if there's somebody in your life, if there's somebody that keeps going in and out of your life, we're going to have a look at what the potential of it is of a, a proper, healthy relationship with this individual. Okay, so this is done generally. For some of you, it will resonate. For some of you, it won't. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the partner. Universe Spirit, show me in a relationship spread for Taurus. I want to see the person that Taurus is interested in. I want to see, that's in card number 1. Number 2, I want to see this person's attributes. Should be positive attributes. Number 3, I want to see what their flaws are. Number 4, what are this person's inner thoughts and feelings for Taurus? Number 5, how does Taurus feel about this person? What are their inner thoughts and feelings for this person? In card number 6, what are the strengths in the relationship or the potential for a relationship? Card number 7, what are the weaknesses in the relationship or the potential for the relationship? Card number 8, show me what the potential is for a healthy relationship between Taurus and this person. Number 9, show me the final analysis. So what is the final analysis you feel is on this relationship? So does this, is this good to go, or what do you see? And in card number 10, just show me the potential blockages that Taurus could find with this person towards formulating a healthy relationship with them. Show me. Alright, so we've shuffled the cards. You can see there, I'm splitting the deck into 3, as I usually do, collecting it back up. And what I'm going to start now doing is laying the cards. So this is the partner or the person of interest showing here. This is what this person's attributes are at the top. This is their flaws showing here, okay? And if the screen goes a bit blurry, it will go back into sync. It's just that it's highly sensitive for some reason to me, dealing with the cards and stuff. So this is the person's inner thoughts and feelings about you. This is your thoughts and feelings about the person, Taurus. These are the strengths of this relationship or the potential strengths of the relationship. This is the weakness in the relationship. These are the inner thoughts. Sorry, not inner thoughts, sorry. This is the potential. This shows what the potential is for a healthy relationship. Okay, we're going to try and pull this slightly across here. Okay, this is the final analysis of what the universe is trying to find on the relationship. Okay, and this is the blockage card. So this will show any blockages towards you having some form of a, a relationship, a healthy relationship, what the blockages are to having a healthy relationship with this person. And we always turn over the card here to show what the overall energy is, and it's the Ten of Swords. And that's not great. So the overall energy of this relationship is the Ten of Swords. For some of you guys, it might have already ended. Alright, because the Ten of Swords means finality and it means endings. Alright, so this is the overall energy of the relationship right now with this individual. For some of you guys, it's finished, it's kaput. For some of you guys, there might have been a betrayal, that type of thing, because the Ten of Swords is about betrayal. And for some of you, it might already be over with that Ten of Swords, final, dead, finished. And that's the general energy with that Ten of Swords energy. Might be that there's been a lot of hurt and a lot of pressure in terms of the relationship as well, especially mental pressure with that Ten of Swords energy. Let's have a look at who this person is at the moment. So the person that you guys are interested in, Taurus, they're showing up as a very, very lazy. They might be lazy. They might lack enthusiasm. The person might have some sexual issues, because the Ace of Wands often shows somebody who's got a sexual dysfunction. For a guy, means the penis isn't working very well. They might need to take things like, what's that drug that men take to get an erection? I can't remember what it's called. But you understand where I'm coming from. So it might be that they've got some sexual impotency here. Might be the person just isn't motivated enough, or they may not even be attracted enough to you, Taurus, because the Ace of Wands shows somebody who's just not, they're just not motivated enough. There's no passion, there's no attraction, there's no ambition, there's no excitement, there's no enthusiasm. This person's showing as the Ace of Wands reversed. So they're showing this somebody who's possibly just not that motivated or interested at the moment in you, Taurus. And that the energy is this Ten of Swords. Let's have a look at what their attributes are. Well, the Two of Pentacles, they're very good at managing things, aren't they? Because their attributes are the Two of Pentacles in the upright. So this person's very good at managing stuff. They're very good at managing work and relationships, which is interesting because they're showing us demotivated. So we know in their attributes there's nothing wrong. If they're very demotivated with you at the moment, Taurus, we know that potentially with the Two of Pentacles being their attribute, that they're very good at managing things. So there's, you know, if somebody's saying to you, Taurus, well, you know, I can't see you, for example, or I'm busy, and, you know, they're saying, oh, not tonight, or, you know, I can't go to the cinema, or I can't take you out for a meal. We know that it's not because of work, because this person's very good, they've got very good management skills with the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles shows somebody who can manage things, different things. They're very good at juggling, you know, relationships with work, children, husband, wife, children. They're just really good, the shopping, keeping the house clean. This person's a jester. There's somebody who's really good at managing stuff, and it's the personal attributes. So this is in the positive. Their attributes are the Two of Pentacles. They're very good at juggling things, and yet they're showing us somebody that's got a lack of motivation. So that's interesting. What are their flaws? Well, the High Priestess, they do in the reverse. So they do tend to keep things really hidden. I mean, really, really hidden with the High Priestess reverse. Okay, the High Priestess reverse is somebody who could potentially suffer from deep depression as well, especially if they're not very good with, you know, motivated towards sex at the moment, as the Ace of Wands in reverse. Especially as, you know, with this Ace of Wands in the reverse, if they are suffering from impotence or anything like that, it might be that they've got some problems that they're hiding very, very well. It might be, you know, because this is water energy, and when you get the High Priestess reverse, it does indicate some very strong depressive energies with this individual. Okay, High Priestess. High Priestess in the reverse can be somebody who's also quite manipulative as well. So somebody who knows how to, they're giving you false knowledge, or they're giving you false information. But it's all in the way of trying to manipulate stuff. And I think that this person, it could be that this person's, as a person, they lack motivation and enthusiasm for you at the moment with the Ace of Wands. It might be for some of you guys, this person stops fancying you, or there's not enough attraction for this person at the moment with the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Their attributes are they're really good at managing stuff, so that can't be it, why they're so lacking in motivation. So it must be that we pay attention more to what their flaws are, that they're hiding something here. Even though the High Priestess in the reverse can mean secrets come out, it can also mean somebody's being very, very shady, and they're being very manipulative. So maybe this person, their flaws are they're manipulating you. Okay, because they're showing a lack of interest here, but their flaws might be, well, they're not 100% interested, but they're just manipulating you, and then they're manipulating the situation, because there's nothing wrong with them here. They're very good at managing. So if there was anything to do with work, why they're so demotivated, or it's anything to do with an external situation, their traits, their strengths, their attributes are they're really good at managing stuff. So if they're really good at managing stuff, then why is it that they lack motivation? Because this is one of their positive attributes. We'll see. How does this person think and feel about you? Well, they think of you as temperance. So they see you as somebody who's quite calm and quite balanced, Taurus. They also see you as a peacemaker and somebody who's very good at kind of sorting through issues, because that's what the Temperance card is. They see you as somebody who's possibly quite patient as well. Maybe that's where the manipulation thing comes in. But I wouldn't be so quick to maybe judge this individual. We'll have to see, Taurus, who they are. But they might see you as somebody who's really good at managing and adjusting to difficulties here, because you show as temperance. They're thinking of you as being temperance, somebody who's quite calm as well and patient. How do you think about this person? Well, you think of them as the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is a pretty difficult card, because on the one sense it can mean somebody's very slow. So they don't, you know, Knight of Pentacles is also boring. So of all the knights, this is why a lot of people go for, especially if you're female, you go for more than likely a Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, or Knight of Swords, because they're more exciting or romantic energies. And the Knight of Pentacles is kind of the person that says, oh, let's sit down and let's order a curry and watch the X Factor on Saturday night. Oh, I don't feel like going out for a drink or to the pub or to a club. I want to sit in and watch a movie. This is what the Knight of Pentacles likes to do, which is why he can be seen as the doddering knight or even the boring knight, because, you know, you might see this person as quite boring. It might be because they lack enthusiasm. But their flaws might be is that they, you know, that they're not manipulative. And I'm not going to say that this person is manipulative. It might be that their flaws are that they hold things very, very, very deeply down inside their soul. They're not very good at showing shit. And it might be that they internalise a lot of stuff here as well. That's one of their flaws, because here their attributes are on the surface. They're really good at managing stuff. But I think that their flaws are that if they've got a real bad issue, they're not very good in confessing it here with this High Priestess in the reverse. And that's because here they're showing us the Ace of... So they're demotivated at the moment by something, but they're not telling you what that is, because they want the appearance of everything being fine here. They want to show you that, you know, they're really good at managing shit. And yet the overall energy is this, which is interesting. They see you as somebody who's quite patient with the Temperance energy. You're really good at creating balance. But you might see them as somebody... It might be that you see this person as being quite dedicated, Taurus. But it also might be, at the same time, you might see them as being quite responsible, quite loyal. But you also might see them as being quite boring. What are the strengths in this relationship? Well, the strengths are the Two of Swords, which is interesting. Because the Two of Swords is a negative card, and yet it shows... Well, it's not so much a negative card. Depends, and yet it shows us the strength. Well, the strength of the Two of Swords is to be very focused. So it might be that you and this individual are very focused. So it's all, you know, the Two of Swords really is about self-focus, to be perfectly honest with you. There's usually about one person who's focusing on one thing when you get the Two of Swords showing up in a reading. Also, the Two of Swords is about wanting to defend oneself, and one is not opening up here. That's interesting, the Two of Swords here, as a strength. Maybe that you feel the strength in the relationship is not to leave everything open. Two of Swords means somebody who's quite closed off and somebody who might hold back. Well, let's see what the weaknesses are. Well, your weaknesses are the Tower. It's an unstable relationship. This is built on... You guys, your strength is in not telling each other everything, I feel, with this Two of Swords. You tend to both put your defences up. It's almost like there's a little bit of a lack of trust here. Even though this person sees you as patient, you see them as probably reliable. You're not telling you're not telling each other everything. It's almost like the strength of your relationship is the Two of Swords, in not saying everything, in putting up I can't speak today, putting up defences in the relationship. This is what your strength is. You're very good at it, but the problem is your weakness is the Tower. As much as you guys, whoever this person is, Taurus, you guys hold back, what you're doing is, with the weakness, you're building up far more instability within the relationship, because the Tower is an unstable card. And it speaks about things that are not built on solid ground must fall. So your weakness is this Tower energy. And that maybe, just maybe, you find strength in holding back and not showing your cards or not showing everything. And that could be for the both of you. And as a result of that, your weakness in the relationship is you're storing up bad energy with this Tower card, and it's going to come out at some point. And it might be something in reference to the person being demotivated here, and also the fact that it might be that this person holds on to a lot of shit very, very deep down, and they don't tend to release it with that High Priestess in the reverse. That this person might be suffering from depression, they might be containing it, they might be really holding it down here with this High Priestess in reverse, and they might find it very, very difficult to share it with others. And yet they think that you're patient, and you think that they're loyal. And yet this person is demotivated, and their flaws are they don't want to share this with the High Priestess. They seem to internalise a lot of stuff. I think their problem is that they internalise, this partner internalises stuff. And they think that you're okay with this. They think that you'll put up with it because they're demotivated. They're showing us somebody who's possibly unenthusiastic, quite demotivated, because their flaws are the High Priestess in the reverse. Somebody who holds back quite a bit. Somebody who internalises a lot of stuff. But on the surface, their attributes are they're very good at balancing things. And that might be why their thinking is, well, this person's quite patient. I don't need to tell them everything about what I'm feeling here. But I don't know whether you guys think that this person is boring or whether they're reliable. But your weakness is that you're storing up bad energy here, and it's going to come out. What is the potential for a healthy relationship, Taurus, for you and this individual? Well, you've got the Devil. It's not healthy at all. Not in the least. There's no way that a Devil card will be healthy in a relationship. Shows codependency and toxic situation. So your potential for a healthy relationship is 0. because you've got burdens and you've got toxic energy running through this relationship. And, you know, this person's demotivated here and they're not saying anything. Their flaws are they're hiding shit with this High Priestess, but they're hiding it. When you get the High Priestess in the upright, it's about your hidden knowledge. But this person usually is in the upright because they're trying to find a way to display this, to communicate this. They're trying to seek clarity. In the reverse, this person's not doing anything at all. All they're doing is storing up bad energy as the High Priestess in the reverse. All they're doing with the High Priestess as a flaw in the reverse is bottling up things to quite an extent. So much so that they do a lot of emotional damage, because this is a water energy card. Because they're lacking motivation. This person that you know, Taurus, is lacking motivation, but they're not saying it. There's something deeper at work here. And they think that you'd be okay with it, that you're patient, you'll wait for them to come out of this area here. And I think that you think this person with the Knight of Pentacles is reliable, despite what you know of this individual. If this resonates with you, you know all these energies with this individual, that this person hides things to a deep extent, that they allow negative energy to boil up inside of them with this High Priestess. That's their biggest flaw. And they're showing us very lacking of intuition, maybe depressed or tardy or whatever it is with the Ace of Wands in the reverse. This is who they're showing as. A very kind of lack, you know, somebody who lacks any type of interest or motivation. Sometimes this is lack of interest in sex as well. Because their flaws are the High Priestess reverse. Could be someone else, but I doubt it. Well, if it's someone else, they're very good at managing it here. But I think that your strengths are not, I think that you find solace, you and this individual, Capricorn, in not saying shit to each other. Because you seem to block things off, or you seem to put a defense mechanism up with that Two of Swords here. But your weakness is that you're storing up bad energy that's going to come out. And that's why the potential for a healthy relationship is the Devil. No, there's not potential for it, because you're storing up some shit here. You're storing up a lot of burdens with that Devil, and it's a toxic relationship. It also might be codependency. There might also be something about abuse as well. What is the final analysis of this relationship? Well, you've got the Page of Swords reversed, and this can be, when you get the Page of Swords in the reverse, this is somebody who is communicating in a bad way. So the final analysis, and you've got to look at all the cards as well. So this is a liar, Page of Swords in the reverse. In the upright, this person tells the truth. Alright, they're either delaying situations, and there is honesty in not communicating with the Page of Swords. So either way you want to look at it, whether this is Page of Swords, somebody doesn't contact you, they're giving you a message through not contacting you. If it's bad news that's coming in, then you know where you are. But the Page of Swords is a liar, and they are very mischievous, and they seem to, with this Page of Swords reversed, it's a difficult card really to look at, to be perfectly honest with you. But with this Page of Swords in the reverse, this is not a nice energy. And the final analysis, I feel, with this Page of Swords is that things are not aired and they're not discussed. You know, and there's a lot of miscommunication here. I think the overall analysis is that your relationship is suffering from miscommunication with the Page of Swords reversed. Because here, the partner or the person you know, they lack any motivation towards you. Because their flaws are that they internalise a lot of stuff with the High Priestess in the reverse. And yet on the surface, their attributes are, they seem to be able to kind of function. Maybe it's in work, or maybe it's in, you know, whether you're male or female, maybe it's in doing things around the home, building stuff, because this is somebody who's managing a lot of stuff. So they seem to be able to function in other areas. But in terms of maybe sex or a personal situation, this person's not functioning very well, and they're hiding stuff from you, and they're burying it, and they're internalising it. And this person thinks you're fine with everything, because they see you as temperance, somebody who's quite patient and who goes with the flows. You see them as the Knight of Pentacles, whilst they're reliable and loyal, they might also be quite boring and take their time to do stuff. Especially if it's something like the bedroom. And here, your strengths in this relationship, you seem to block things out from each other. This is where you feel most comfortable, not telling everyone. Even if you feel something, you're not telling the individual this, and they're not telling you this. And therefore, the weakness is all of this stuff that you're doing here, that you're holding back with the Two of Swords, Taurus, you're just building up as a weakness here. Because you're just adding to the instability that's already there, and it's going to come out with the Tower. And that's why the potential for a healthy relationship is no, it's the devil. Because the devil says, well, no, of course not. The potential for a healthy relationship is not there because this is an unhealthy card when it comes to relationship. It represents people who are tied to negative aspects of a relationship. So whether that be codependency, sex, living conditions, you know, whether you don't leave a relationship because one partner doesn't earn enough or one partner does, or you're too scared to, or all of that type of energy, it's still negative energy. And there's no way that this relationship for some of you guys can have a potential. Only if this card was in the reverse would you stand a chance. But in the upright, it says that, you know, you've got some pretty negative, toxic energies around you in this relationship. And I think that the overall analysis is there's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of things with this Page of Swords that is not being said. We're not hearing the truth. It's not even like you're going to say something at some point. It's like there's just complete... You don't tell the truth to each other. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. How are you? Oh, yeah, just tired. When secretly the person that you know is like, oh, God, I can't. You know, and it's really getting to whoever this person is. I'm not seeing a shady character here, Taurus. What I'm seeing is somebody who's not communicating effectively with you, and you're not communicating effectively with them, and you're putting a lot of stuff underneath the carpet in this relationship. What are the roadblocks to you guys having a healthy relationship? Well, there you go, the Empress in the reverse. And again, it speaks of an unhealthy relationship. You've got it reversed. So when you get the Empress in the reverse, it represents a relationship that fails. It's dying. There's no health here. There's no joy. There's no passion. It's a passionless relationship with the Empress in the reverse. It's not flourishing. And this is the blocks to you having a healthy relationship with, because it's the Empress reversed. There might even be very little attraction here. A lack of attraction here, because this person is unenthusiastic. So it might be the blocks to you having a relationship is about, are you both attracted to each other with this Empress in the reverse? You know, do you both feel joy? Do you both feel that there is growth? There's also a lack of growth. So the blocks to you guys also having a healthy relationship, Taurus, with this individual, is that the relationship is not growing in a healthy way. It's just not. There's the lack of positive growth because there's miscommunication. There's miscommunication between you and this individual with the Page of Swords. So how can you expect to grow or learn or even understand what it is that each of you potentially wants here? You know? You can't. Because what you're doing is you're holding back your strength. You feel stronger in just pushing everything underneath the carpet, that both of you do with that Two of Swords. But what you're doing is you're creating the weakness of storing all of this shit up, and it's going to come out. And you can't have a healthy relationship with the Devil card because it's negative when it comes to relationship. Not unless it's understood that both partners just want to have a completely superficial, maybe sexual relationship or relationship based on, for example, a sugar daddy relationship. The younger attractive woman says, well, I'll be your trophy and you pay me. You look out for me and you give me a nice apartment. And if both parties understand with the Devil card that this is it, that this is what they're in for, then that's fine. But other than that, if there's any love connection, I mean real true love connection, you get Devil, it's not healthy. It's codependency, it's abuse, it's lies, it's control. It's all of those nasty energies showing up. So how can you expect to have anything that is healthy here? And also there's no growth. This is the blockage card. This is what's blocking you guys to having a healthy relationship. The Empress reversed. There's no growth. And also the Empress reversed is somebody who's depressed. So there could be somebody in the relationship that's also showing as being quite depressed. And because there's a lot of miscommunication with that Page of Swords, a lot of things that aren't being told in the truth, a lot of things that aren't being discussed truthfully, this is what's going on here with this shit. This is the point. You're not communicating effectively, Taurus, with whoever this person is. And you're plodding along and this person's looking at you like you're fine. And you're looking at this person like they're fine. But they're a bit boring, but they're fine. But really, what you're not doing is communicating. Because the strengths in your relationship is lack of communication or burying a lot of shit deep. But your weakness is what you bury here, you build up here and it's going to come out. Because the overall analysis is you're not communicating effectively within the relationship with the Page of Swords. because the blockage is the Empress reverse. There's no growth, and one of you might be very, very depressed as well with that Empress energy, all right, in the reverse. Let's get some clarifiers on this and see if we can open this up for you. So let's have a look. So why is this partner or this person that Taurus is interested in showing us the Ace of Wands reverse? Why is this person, and this might change the reading slightly, so that was the first layer. Why is this person that Taurus is interested in, whoopsie daisy, showing us the Ace of Wands in the reverse in 2 cards? Show me. Well, we've got the Four of Wands here. Alright, so I think that this person might be bored. I think they might be bored because they're showing us the Ace of Wands in the reverse, and you've got 2 good energies here why they're bored. This person doesn't want. Now, the first reading was the first layer, so you can go with that first reading. You can also go with this one, or maybe there's, you know, if it resonates with any of you guys, Taurus, it might be midway. Alright, so Taurus, this is you, the Queen of Pentacles. They've got stability with you in this relationship, but that's why they're bored. They lack motivation as a person because they've got stability with you. Now, it might be they lack motivation with others, but I think that this, if you know, and this is explaining the person as you should be seeing them. So for some of you guys, if it resonates with you and you've got a partner or there's someone around you who seems, you know, they've got a lack of enthusiasm. It might be because they're very settled and they're just very kind of used to the status quo in the relationship. It might also be because you've got 2 good cards showing up why I think this person's just become very used to whatever it is that's going on here, and they don't feel a need maybe to try here. Their attributes are the Two of Pentacles. Why are this person's attributes the Two of Pentacles? Show me. Well, they're quite stable. King of Pentacles. Oh, you've got an Ace of Wands in the reverse there as well. Well, I think that this person, it shows a man that lacks enthusiasm again. You know, it might be that this is, you know, a stable individual, but it might be that they're not very sexually motivated at the moment. It might be this is a business person that you guys are dealing with, somebody who works an awful lot for the home, for the family. It looks like they're a straight-up individual, but it looks like because they're working towards something here, they lack motivation in something else. And that might be why they're showing us their attributes are needing to manage things. Their attributes are that they are able to manage something quite effectively because it might they look exhausted with these 2 energies. You've got the King of Pentacles, which is notoriously a stable guy if you get him in the right frame of mind. I don't think this is showing a cheat or anything like that. I think it's showing somebody who's quite stable. But because with the King of Pentacles, he's such a hard worker and he puts a lot of effort into stuff, it might be that he's tired with this Ace of Wands. It might be that this person works so much that they're actually quite knackered with that Ace of Wands in the reverse. And that might be why their positive attributes are, well, they try and manage as much as they can, even though they are tired. But I think that that's their attributes. And as a result of that, them as a person, again, we've got this Ace of Wands and showing the reverse. So this person is showing us a lack of enthusiasm because of the Four of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. It might be that they think that you're all right with that, or that might be that they're bored with it. Who knows? We'll have to see. Their flaws are the High Priestess. Why in the reverse? Why is this person's flaws the High Priestess in the reverse? Show me. Right, because the 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups. Alright, so they're looking at options for love. This person's being sneaky. High Priestess is in the reverse, shows somebody who's being sneaky. And I didn't expect to see that, but they're looking at other options for love. Page of Cups is when you're flirting, and they might be flirting with the idea of other options, or they're flirting with other options. So their flaws are a High Priestess in the reverse. This person's being very, very sneaky, I feel, and underhanded. Alright, when you get a High Priestess in the reverse, this person's quite a shady individual. So they're not just manipulative, they're literally quite shady. They're like a 7 of Swords when that's in the upright. That's what High Priestess in the reverse is. Somebody who's quite underhanded. Alright, they've got a lot of secrets and they've got a lot of things that they're doing. But they do everything underneath the radar. And that's what this card can be. So far what we're looking at, if we were to draw a profile maybe of this individual, and that's why we're getting this 10 of Swords as the general energy around you guys in terms of this reading. That you've got a person here who lacks motivation. I think that they are used to you, Taurus. It's because of 4 of Wands, and this is successful relationship with Taurus, Queen of Pentacles, or, you know, it's mundane. Four of Wands is just like everything's fine, everything's going good. But they lack motivation because things are going good here with you, or they have been going good. So they're kind of, but I think that this person is bored. I think they get bored with the status quo, with things that look so easy and things that just become so normal. I think that this person is bored. And I think that this person's attributes are that, you know, they're very good at managing different things as a person. It might be because with the King of Pentacles they're quite successful, which leaves them little time really to take up different activities maybe. So it might be that they make the best of those things. But as a person, I think that this person is showing us bored with the Ace of Wands reversed. And I think it's because they're kind of, these two cards, if you look at the Queen of Pentacles, she's very much into the home, looking after the children or nurturing this, that and the other. She's somebody that works from home, that type of thing. And it might be, I'm not sure whether some of you guys work with an individual such as this, you know, work with a partner or whatever. But I think in terms of this, Four of Wands doesn't have to just mean the home. It can just mean a successful or a happy relationship. They're bored because there's nothing for this person to strive for. This is what the impression I'm getting here. There's nothing for this individual to strive for here. They've got you where they want you, Taurus, and there's nothing for them to strive for, which is why their flaws are the High Priestess. They hold a lot of shit down with that High Priestess reverse. They're very, very, very secretive and very, very shady with that High Priestess reverse, because there's other options for excitement that this person wants to explore with that Page of Cups. A lot of fantasy going on there as well. That's what their flaws are. This person might be a fantasist, because here they're bored. Ace of Wands, they lack enthusiasm. Why do they lack enthusiasm, Taurus? Because they've got something settled here with you guys. If you recognise this reading, this person's kind of settled. But this person, you usually find that fantasists and narcissists, they don't like things to get too settled, because wherever things are settled, they need to create disruption. And it looks to me like this person is bored because things are okay. And their flaws are this High Priestess. It's either the High Priestess can be very much a dreamer as well when she's in the reverse. I mean, she goes into such a parallel world, it's unbelievable. She's very much into her dreamlike state. And you've got two dream cards here. The fantasist one of the Page of Cups and the fantasist, the Seven of Cups. This person's probably a dreamer. Flaws are dreaming of something more exciting, or they're going out and they're looking for other options. But this person, one thing I feel within this reading, they don't like the norm. And when they're very busy here, this King of Pentacles, and because they're showing us in their attributes that this person is quite successful, all right, which probably doesn't leave much time for doing stuff with the Ace of Wands, more, you know, active energy. It's possibly they're tired here. They're showing us their attributes are to create things, to do things. So this person doesn't like sitting still, and they like excitement, I think. So I think you're dealing with possibly an excitement junkie, because anywhere this person might see things get a little bit boring, they don't really want to know. They need excitement to keep them going. They think of you as Temperance, Taurus. Why does this person think of Taurus as Temperance? You've got two cards that flipped out together. That's interesting, because I don't know what direction they flipped out in. Alright, I'm gonna have to pull again on that, because I don't know how those cards came out and I didn't want to read them wrong. Why does this person think of Taurus as Temperance? Why does this person think of Taurus as Temperance in two cards? Show me. Because the Ace of Swords and the Fool. Now, it's funny that they would think of you as Temperance, because these two cards suggest anything but going with the flow, or even patience. Because the Ace of Swords is all about a change that brings new opportunities with that Fool energy. And the Fool is ready for change because it's walking into it. Okay? This is also communication with the Ace of Swords. I mean, there's definitely new beginnings and changes with both cards showing up. And also the Ace of Swords is about new ideas, possibly for change. I think this person sees you as somebody who easily goes with the flow on a situation. And it might be that you've both communicated over or this person's communicating with you in terms of maybe they want to travel, or they want to do something else, or they want to go for a new opportunity. I think that they see you as somebody who's quite balanced and easy to get along with. I think they see you as somebody quite patient and somebody who will go with the flow, because I think that this person communicated that they wanted to do something else. I don't mean leave you or go on to something else. I think they communicated, the Ace of Swords, that maybe they were going on a trip, or maybe they were looking to move somewhere for a certain amount of time, and I think that they think that you're okay with that showing up here. You see them as the Knight of Pentacles. Why does Taurus see this person as the Knight of Pentacles in 2 cards? Show me. Because the Ace of Cups. Alright, so there's problems with love here. You see them as the Knight of Pentacles, because I think that I think you see them as bored. Because in terms of this relationship, love, you've got the Eight of Swords showing up, and there are problems with this. This person might be adverse to love. Ace of Cups is all about, it's not always about new beginnings. Sometimes it's just about being in love and being receptive to love. Alright, we can see that the Ace of Cups is coming out. It's not showing up here. Because usually I look at the direction of the card. So the Ace of Cups being held to this person doesn't want love. But it's holding out. It's almost like, because you see them as this Knight of Pentacles. I'm just trying to think of that. Just pulled another card. I like to pull a card afterwards because I feel that there's something else to say here. This is trying to avoid the Tower, or you're not looking at, it's almost, I get the impression that you see them as bored, or you see them as too, what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't think that you feel that this person's 100% consistent. I think that you feel that you're looking at them as if they're somebody who's very slow to move in this situation. And that's because of the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is often about love. The Eight of Swords means limitations. I think it's because you see this person as the Knight of Pentacles. It's very difficult to read the Knight of Pentacles in terms of love. They're either loyal, responsible individuals, or they're bored and tardy and slow-moving individuals. But you see them as the Knight of Pentacles, somebody who's very slow. It might be that there's something to do with love. This relationship has some limitations. I think it's that. I think you see them as this because you feel that they almost feel that this relationship with you has some form of limitations going on here. Ace of Cups is love. This is about restriction and limitations that could bring the Tower. It might be that you actually think of this person as as quite committed actually. Because I think within this relationship there are limitations that could bring a breakup for some of you guys showing there. So I think that you almost feel like this person doesn't want that. This person seems to put up a very, very good blanket or smoke screen. Because here this person wants excitement. Their flaws are they go into the realms of fantasy quite a bit. And they like excitement, I feel here. I think this person loves excitement. I think they're bored with the status quo of whatever the relationship is with you, Taurus. And their flaws are that they are an excitement junkie, I feel, with these cards here. They will start creating more things to do if, you know, because for some reason their work makes them feel tired, or they lack any type of activity, or they're not doing enough stuff. So their attributes are they'll create stuff, they'll start getting busy, they'll start managing or doing different things. They like to me this person doesn't like things being the norm. They like to be busy. They like to consistently create an air of busyness about them. They're seeing you as patient, the Temperance card, and I think it's almost like they've communicated that they want to do certain things with that Fool. They want to try, they want to experience other things. It's almost like this person feels that you'll just go along with the flow here for some of you Taurus people, okay? And you see them as being loyal and consistent, Taurus. Because I think that you recognise that this relationship does have limitations that could bring about the Tower, problems. it might be that you feel they feel this, but I think that they feel anything but. They might do, because this is only a small part of who they are, the flaws section. The strength in your relationship with the Two of Swords. Why the strength in Taurus and this person's relationship, the Two of Swords, show me? Because the Eight of Wands and the Five of Swords. Okay. So, the Five of Swords is all about control. Okay, and we've got communication card here. And I think that communication with this Eight of Wands is a way to, is very controlled, or it might be that communication, because you get the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is a card about, these are difficult combinations in a way, because the Five of Swords is a card about somebody who's taking advantage, or somebody who's getting the upper hand, okay? I think that there are arguments between maybe you and this individual, Taurus, because the Eight of Wands can be used as weapons of attack with the Five of Swords to gain control. So I think that in your relationship, maybe this Two of Swords is saying the strengths are not saying too much, or self-control, which is what the Two of Swords is. So the strength in terms of this relationship is about self-control, because there are weapons being used, especially energy weapons, you know, how one feels, the atmosphere when you go into the room, how you are with each other. It's being used as a weapon of attack that gives one of you, and it might be the partner, the control that they need. So the strength is maybe self-control, in which the weakness is the Tower, because things are being built up here. You guys don't want to do this. You don't want these, either one of you doesn't want the weapons of attack to be used as a, you know, as a weapon for controlling a situation. So it's best with this Two of Swords not to front it out, not to get in that. And that's the strength, that you know where the limitations are. You know how far, either one of you knows how far you can go with this situation. And that's why your weaknesses are the Tower. Why is the weakness the Tower in this relationship for Taurus? Show me. Well, because of the Three of Swords in the reverse and the Three of Cups in the upright. Could be something about third parties, they usually are, but your weakness is this Tower, because something's going to come out. Whatever it is that you're suppressing here, because you don't want to either give whichever one that's doing it, these weapons of attack, Eight of Wands is also weapons of attack, is giving somebody control here. And that's why your strengths are in not pushing the envelope too much in this situation. But as a result of that, the weakness is you're storing up things in terms of you're adding to the unstable foundation here. Because the Three of Swords reverse is a card that I often read as hurt is being released, things are being discussed. I'm not reading it as third party, but things are being discussed here. There's pain that's being released here through agreeing, or some form of an agreement happening. I know we've got 2 3s, but I'm not always reading these cards as third party situations. Alright. The potential for a healthy relationship for you guys is the Devil. So let's have a look why the Devil is the potential for a healthy relationship. Well, because of the Nine of Swords. Okay. So, yeah, the Devil is potential for a healthy relationship. She says there's no potential for a healthy relationship. It's an unhealthy card. It's the Devil, because there's going to be worries over this Ten of Wands struggles. Worries of how you know, this worry is about the burden that you guys are carrying. So here, you're not talking about stuff because you're afraid of maybe confrontation. But the weakness is that things are being stored up and they're going to come out. Because this Three of Swords, which says, yeah, we're resolving stuff. And we're agreeing on it, and it's bringing us closer together, and it's bringing some resolution and happiness here. It's not really being resolved, it's all being stored up. And therefore, there is no healthy partnership here with this Devil in the upright. There's no potential for a healthy relationship, because all of these worries are and also it might be that one of you is worrying, but you're concealing the worries, because the Ten of Wands is to conceal and this is to worry. So there's a lot of concealment going on in this situation for some of you Taurians. the final analysis is the Page of Swords reversed. Why is the final analysis of this relationship the Page of Swords reversed? Because the Three of Wands in the upright. Well, you're expecting loss. The final analysis is miscommunication. There's a lot of mystery, what's the word? There's a lot of untruths that are being communicated here with that Page of Swords in the reverse. And to turn it around, you guys are not communicating truthfully to each other. Because I think that you're expecting loss. Three of Wands often means to expect, and you've got the Five of Cups loss. I think that you're expecting it not to work out for some of you guys. And the blockage in your relationship is the Empress reverse. Why is the blockage in the Taurus reading the Empress in the reverse, show me? Because of the Page of Pentacles. A lack of growth is the obstacle with the Empress energy in the reverse. Lack of growth, depression. Again, it can be a manipulative card. Unhealthy card for relationships as well. And that's because of the Page of Pentacles. Maybe somebody's making a proposal to someone from the past here. Page of Pentacles is proposal and this is the past. So maybe the obstacles going forward in terms of will the relationship be a healthy one, while the Empress in the reverse is no. Because there's a lack of growth here. It could be maybe somebody from the past comes in. Page of Pentacles is proposal, proposing something to the past. Or you're proposing something to, you know, proposing something keeps you in the past, maybe. Something like that. But I don't think it's going to work out with this reading, which is why you guys, the general energies around you, Taurians, are that who are in relationships or having problems with relationships, are this Ten of Swords. Okay, it's the Ten of Swords. Failure. And this is the general energy around the relationship is complete and utter failure because there's miscommunication here. We'll quickly do this reading one more time. This person here lacks enthusiasm. It looks like they're just too damn comfy. Four of Wands, because of Four of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. Alright, they're very good at managing stuff, but it's because there's King of Pentacles. This person might work a lot and they might find that they've not got much enthusiasm for anything else. But their attributes are being able to kind of be the joker, and maybe even this is saying their attributes are, because this is kind of like someone who does a dance and they kind of joke around. So it might be their attributes are actually to put on a funny face and to do a dance and to pretend that everything's okay, because here their flaws are they're either some form of a fantasist. You've got this High Priestess in the reverse because of the Seven of Cups and the Page of Cups in the upright. Both cards represent people that fantasize an awful great deal. They've got some ideals that are not sometimes based in reality, all right? Or it could be that this person is very, very sneaky with the High Priestess. They're a real manipulator with that High Priestess in the reverse. It might be because they're looking at other options to flirt with the Page. This person is a bit of an excitement junkie here. A little bit of one. I'm not saying that they're to a massive extent, but they've certainly got those elements going on with them. This person thinks you're all right. They think that you go with the flow, Taurus, because it might be that they've communicated, well, I just want to try other things. I want to go away for the night. I want to do this. I want to do that. And they'll feel, well, Taurus will be fine with that. They'll have no issue with it. You see them as the Knight of Pentacles, somebody who is very stable and consistent, potentially here. But it's because the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, this love is limited. There's limitations. It might be that you've got some fears in terms of this relationship here. Or you feel they've got fears in this relationship. Maybe the fears are around a breakup or something like that. The strength in the relationship is that you are very much on your guard. Maybe the both of you, but probably trying to avoid some form of argument here because these are weapons of attack used to strengthen someone. Or also, you know, we're getting the weapons coming out of the Five of Wands. But if we look at it, it looks like it's going into the Five of Wands as well. So these are weapons of attack and somebody's trying to defend themselves. They're ready for a fight. And that might be why there is strength in silence, because it's about damage limitation and trying not to provoke. It looks like provocation here with these two cards. So the strength is not provoking the situation too much. But the problem is the weakness is it's being stored up with the Tower and it's going to come out. Because you guys feel that you're overcoming this Three of Swords. So you're getting through the problems by maybe agreeing to stuff with this Three of Cups energy. And as a result of that, the potential for a healthy relationship is no. with the devil, because I think that there are worries that are not being discussed here with that Ten of Wands energy. Okay, you had a Ten of Wands and the High Priestess. Somebody's struggling to tell you something. Somebody's struggling to speak, you know. And there are struggles with this Ten of Cups. You know, there are worries that are bringing struggles within this relationship, but they're not being discussed because the Ten of Wands person hides behind the Wands. They're not facing up to stuff. So things are being concealed here. The overall analysis from the whole reading is the Page of Swords. You guys are not communicating effectively. There is miscommunication. There is also dishonest communication with this Page of Swords, because you're both really maybe just expecting it's only a matter of time with that Five of Cups. And the outcome says that the blockage is in you guys having a healthy relationship, because it's not healthy anyway. High Priestess reversed represents an unhealthy relationship. There is no room for growth, no room for this thing to be healthy, to be buoyant, to be joyous. It might be maybe there's children involved. Page of Pentacles and Six of Cups are children cards, or maybe you're looking responsibly at the relationship. You know, at the growth of it, still at a sort of early stage, Six of Cups, or maybe somebody's making a proposal to somebody from the past. Who knows? But it's still unhealthy, whichever way you want to look at it. Alright, that is your reading, Taurus. And that is really just a general reading for those of you who resonate with this. They're quite in-depth readings, okay? So yeah, thanks for your time, guys, and I'll see you on your next reading. Take care.